Hey everybody, welcome to Maine Wedding Buzz, and today we have our guest from Dunegrass. Taryn, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Well, my name is Taryn Trafton. I am the Director of Sales at Dunegrass Golf Club, and I live in Portland. I live with my boyfriend of 2 years as of yesterday.
Congratulations.
And my boxer lab mix dog, Bella.
Very cute dog. I've seen the dog, beautiful, very friendly.
Yes, she's wonderful. She's very, very sweet. I lived in Seattle for 2 years. Before I moved back to Maine, I was out there bartending and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. That's sort of when I became interested in the event business. I moved back. I didn't get right into it, but I've now lived here. I've lived in Portland for 5 years, and I've been working at Dunegrass for almost 4 of those 5 years.
Oh, wow. And so you just answered an ad, and that's sort of how it came out, or did somebody tell you about it?
No, actually. So when in the midst of trying to figure out what I was doing, I had actually applied to law school. I had applied I'd taken the praxis exam for to maybe become a teacher. And this is all post-undergrad.
Congratulations.
And then I had decided that I wanted to become a nurse after all of that.
Okay.
So,
lawyer, nurse, teacher.
Yes.
Excellent.
So I enrolled in night classes at SMCC and was bartending during the day. I was bartending at the airport, and then I was bartending part-time at Nonsuch River Golf Course, which is actually the sister course of Dunegrass in Scarborough. And one of my side work duties was to bake, and I had absolutely no baking experience. And the product that I was putting out, muffins, brownies, just out of the box, actually were coming out horribly, and they weren't selling. So the owners had the director of food and beverage come in and over the course of a week train me on how to bake.
Nice.
Which was kind of funny. And then at the end of the week, she said to me, "What are you doing with your life?" And I was like, I don't know. And I had actually, truth be told, 2 weeks before decided not to go back to nursing school because I realized I faint when I see blood. And I'm definitely afraid of needles. Yes. And so she said, well, the management here is taking over Dunegrass. Would you like to be my assistant? I'm going to be the director of sales in the events department. And so I started working, and then 5 months later, she parted ways with Dunegrass, and I was promoted to the director of sales, and here I am.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's sort of one door opens, one door closes.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. That's
so
excellent.
In the right place at the right time.
And so did you think, which leads me to my next question about event planning, did you just go right into it, or just have an inkling that that's what you wanted to do? I mean, with weddings and corporate, 90% weddings at Dunegrass, I'm going to assume?
Yeah, well, actually, I would say 90% of weddings versus smaller events or anniversaries or fundraisers. But then I would say, actually it's about 60% golf tournaments.
Oh, wow.
Too.
Okay.
So I do all the golf tournaments and the luncheons and barbecues that go with that and the planning that goes into that.
Because Dunegrass is actually on a golf course, and how many holes? Is that what they call
it? It's 18 holes.
18 holes.
Yeah,
Okay.
18
so
holes.
It's a big course then.
Yeah, it's a great big course.
Wow. And so you just enjoy the whole event planning part of it and just went, I guess you just nosedived right into it, I'm going to assume, and just enjoyed it. That's excellent. How long has Dunegrass been doing events and weddings?
Well, Dunegrass has been open since 1999, and they've been doing events and weddings since 99, so about 16 years.
Wow, so that's a big time in the industry with that.
Yes.
And how many events do you do in a year?
Let's see, every year it's growing. So this past year I think it was like 72. It was between 70 and 75 events. That includes the golf tournaments, any social events and weddings. Mm-hmm. And then this year I'm gauging it'll be more between 80 and 90 events.
Excellent. And we were talking earlier, you can do multiple functions because you have another function space there as well as the large. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for example, so it's I have a smaller room. So I have the grand ballroom that seats up to 250 people with a dance floor.
For this area, that's excellent.
Yes. And the smaller room is the Augusta room, and it hosts up to 65 people for a wedding. For example, this weekend, I actually have a prom on Saturday, and I have a bridal shower on Saturday. So I have a bridal shower in the smaller room, and then the prom in the larger room.
Excellent. And what's your day like as a planner at Dunegrass?
Well, Monday through, I would say Wednesday and Thursday, I'm in the office a lot, so I come to the office, I have a huge cup of coffee, I listen to all my voicemails, I respond to all my emails, that's priority. I take pride in contacting my client or my prospective client as immediately as possible, so I'm always on email.
Which is pretty interesting in this industry. We have to get back to them within 24 to 48 hours because it's instant response that is what opens the door for you.
Exactly, yeah, because a lot of times, that's the window, you lose the client otherwise. And then on Mondays, I'm meeting with clients. I have a lot of final detailing meetings during the on-season. And then towards the end of the week, I'm executing events. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, mainly Friday and Saturday nights. I'm facilitating ceremony rehearsals on Fridays and Thursdays. I'm on the floor at the events.
So you attend all the events?
Yes.
Now, do you stay start to finish?
Start to finish. I'm there. Usually it's a 15-hour day or so, but I get there. I make sure everything's set up perfectly. I greet the clients when they come in. So if it's a wedding, for example, I'm there when the bride walks through the door. What can I get for you? When all of the guests are walking in, where do I go?
Which gives them peace of mind. You start with you and you end with you. So that's really nice. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, there's no juggling around at all. And I'm there and I always say this, I'm there when you book Dunegrass, I'm a great resource. So it's unlimited emailing and phone calling. You can use me as much or as little as you like. So I have more couples that don't really use me, and I see them at sort of the milestones, the tasting, and then for their final detailing meetings. And then there are some that I've been talking to always and really establish a great relationship with.
Excellent. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Do you do bridal shows all over or just in your location?
Yeah, I do. Well, in the past, I've done the New Hampshire Bridal Show at UNE, the Freeport Show. I always do the Portland Show. What I found is the Portland Show is the most, it's the busiest, most
Bang for your
bustling.
buck,
Yeah.
It was crowded this year. It really was. I did it for the first time with one of our venues, and it was hopping.
I would say this is the best year yet. In the past 4 years that I've done it, this was the best year. It was great.
And it looked like they just kept coming. I mean, the doors were just open, and it was
No
like the aisles were
kidding.
full. Upstairs, I think you were upstairs, if I remember correctly.
Oh, well, no, I was actually downstairs.
You were downstairs? Okay,
Yeah.
I remember where we were all at.
I know.
And it was just mobbed, and it was, we were shoulder to shoulder with people. It was really interesting. What's your take on social media like Facebook and Pinterest and LinkedIn and all of the stuff that's out there now and Facebook?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Do you handle that as part of a tool for selling the events?
Definitely. So I have, I like to have, maybe I'm a control freak a little bit, but I like to have everything at my disposal. So I control Instagram, Pinterest, I control everything for Dunegrass for the wedding side of things.
And which you should, as the event planner, you should have control of that.
Definitely. So I'm constantly updating, whether it's weekly, sometimes it's daily, depending on what's going on. If I have events, then it's daily. But yeah, I find it to be Facebook especially our Facebook page gets, it's a great tool. I can see how many views it has, and the number of likes I'm constantly trying to increase. For a Facebook feed, updating photos and whatnot. That's my primary. I also use Instagram, not as frequently. I'm more just in this last year, I started our Instagram account. Twitter, I never caught on to for some reason. I wasn't the generation.
And it's just, one word. Oh, I just went to dinner. And after a while, it gets really like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So I get you on that one.
Yes.
Do you feel that with Instagram, now that you're signed up, one of the things that we do is we immediately take photos and then they go immediately onto Facebook. Have you found that to be problematic with, say, photographers if they don't want you to post photos before they've posted photos? But, it's your event and it's your venue and it's all about your brand as well. So how do you handle that part of it?
That's interesting. I've never come across that problem before. I always, once all of the setup and detailing is done, before any of the guests come in and while the photographer is still outside, I go around, I snap pictures of the cake, the layout, any cute little decor.
All the little details and stuff, the
and
favors.
then I actually wait until after the ceremony to post those pictures because I know also the brides, they might not want those photos out before their guests see it, or maybe maybe they are on social media waiting to get married.
I'm finding that a lot, like hashtag my weddings. They'll create these really cute little hashtags. So at the wedding, everybody's hashtagging. And I just recently saw a photo of a wedding, and somebody had their iPhone out to take a picture of the wedding, and the photographer caught that moment, which I can understand. During the wedding, don't have the photos. Let the photographer do that moment.
Sure.
And so, do you find that people are hashtagging more and connecting it to the social media aspect?
Yes. And not as much as I would like hashtagging Dunegrass, but yes, the actual wedding, definitely. There are lots of cute little hashtag MF wedding, or yes. So pretty much at every wedding these days.
And how long does a wedding take at Dunegrass? It's interesting. When I moved up to Maine, a lot of venues rent their space, and it's like an all-day event.
Yes.
And I wasn't used to that because I'm used to a 5-hour wedding.
Yes.
Hour cocktail, dinner, and then 3 hours of dancing.
Sure.
Is it 5 hours that you rent the space for?
It is 5 hours that I rent the space. However, I only host one wedding per day in a particular space, or one event per day.
Yep.
So, there's free reign to come in and maybe get your hair and makeup done. There's a little bridal suite that's attached to the larger room.
Oh, that's nice.
Girls often come in. Maybe we'll do mimosas and a cheese plate while they're getting ready. So that's something we can definitely organize.
They can do first look there and things of that nature.
First look, everything, yeah. Yes.
That's excellent. And can you, well, we talked about this a little bit, but with having different sites to have the event, the party part of it. But what about doing weddings? Is there only one site, or are you creating, and I know we talked about this a little earlier, are you creating 2 sites now for weddings?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So because over the years that I've been at Dunegrass, our volume for weddings is increasing, what I've found is we only have one ceremony site, but we have two locations for receptions. So what I've decided to do this summer is I'm scoping, because I've already got 10 weddings booked for next year, and 3 are in my smaller room. So, and all 3 would like to have their ceremony and reception. So I want it to be a possibility to have
to find
2
another
weddings.
Space.
Exactly. So what I'm doing this summer is I'm going to design, I actually already have an idea on the 9th hole. There's a beautiful location right along the tree line, on a little like bunker almost, where I'm going to put a trellis that the bride and groom can decorate however they like, and just white folding chairs, and have a second ceremony site.
And that would be
there
for the smaller
for the
part.
smaller venue, yes.
Oh, that's excellent. They'll love that.
Yes.
And have you, you have really awesome views. Do the photographers just come in and just jump in before we get into the photos?
Yeah.
Have you designated on this 18-hole golf course which place is the best for photos? Tell us a little bit about that.
I have a little bit, just because it's like a maze. You can get lost. I mean, I've been there for 4 years, and I still will go out on a golf cart and get lost. Believe it or not, because I'm not a golfer, let's be honest. So,
but you like riding around in the little carts,
yes,
which I
course,
enjoy.
Of course. So what I actually do is right behind the ballroom is the 18th green. And I just give directions. If you go straight back on that 18th green, you come to a little area where there are little white bridges and ponds. Lots of great opportunity for photos, which you'll see.
That's beautiful.
And otherwise, I invite the couple to ask their photographer if the photographer wants to come before their wedding day, a couple weeks, months, whenever they want, whenever they get a chance, and I will give them a golf cart and a map, and they can go out and explore and find those opportune places for photographs.
That's really nice. Now, is that something extra to the package, or is that included?
No, that's included in the package. And it's also something unique. If you're getting married at a golf course in this area, I've found that a lot of golf courses don't allow couples, maybe they're a private course, to go out on the course and have photographs taken. So I think that's something that's unique to Dunegrass, and definitely something to take advantage of if you are getting married there.
That really is. Tell us a little about these pictures.
Okay, so this is the front of the clubhouse. You can see
it's beautiful.
There's a bride and groom. They're on the putting green, and the front of the
friends at Focus Photography took this.
Focus Photography did. They're wonderful. Actually, a lot of the photos are from Focus Photography.
Oh, nice. I love, is this a pond, or is that just?
Yeah, it's a pond.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a great, and actually this photograph was taken the summer before last. So
I love the reflection. It's just,
yeah,
it's gorgeous. It's really pretty.
But actually, where you see there's like a garden bed now, there's been tons of landscaping done, and they're great, lush flower gardens.
Oh, nice.
So it's even more beautiful.
So this would be the entrance for the ballroom,
Yes,
correct?
all the way to the right under the portico. This is just a photograph to give you an idea of the inside of the ballroom. There are vaulted ceilings and tons of natural light, which I really love. For a ballroom that's not typical, normally sometimes they're a bit darker hues.
Or flat.
Yes, or
So
flat,
you might
exactly, lower ceilings.
like that a lot. So.
Yes. So a lot of my couples say, oh, this is a great, really clean palette, especially with the carpeting being so subtle.
Oh, nice.
This is also a photograph from Focus Photography. This is our outdoor ceremony gazebo. So this wedding had, I think, just over about 175 guests. So as you can see, it seats up to 250 guests outside. Wow. Behind the gazebo is the 18th green that I was talking about. And again, this is a lovely location. So the bride and groom will go off on the Just Married golf cart after a ceremony, while the photographs still need to be taken with the family and friends. So this is a great location for big groups of people after the ceremony to have their photographs taken.
Now, is golfing happening while the wedding goes on?
Yes.
Oh, okay, wow.
It is. And this is a great question that you ask, because it is going on, but golf is such a quiet and respectful game. So every once in a while, a golfer will walk by a ceremony or just stop and observe and be an additional guest, but on the perimeter.
Oh,
this is just a cute right now. So in this coming year, so the gazebo is always decorated in flowers.
So are these hedges back there? Like boxwoods?
Yes, yes, exactly.
And so the 18th hole is behind that. So
yes.
There's a buffer. Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. So the entire, so there's the ballroom itself, and it leads down to a patio, concrete patio, which then leads down to the ceremony site, which is the great big lawn. And it's completely enclosed by the hedges.
Nice. Oh, I like that.
And
I like that a lot.
It's private for a wedding the entire evening, so people can on the lawn. Sometimes I've had clients who have lawn games, for example, or maybe if you have lots of kids at your wedding, it's a great place for the kids to run around.
And the concrete location, is that where you do the cocktail hour?
Yes.
So that becomes the cocktail hour. So basically you transition from the ceremony to cocktail, then to dinner. So it's like, a little vignette. So the vignette number 1 would be the wedding, then vignette number 2 would be the cocktail hour, then you move into the big reveal of the ballroom. Oh,
yes,
I like that.
Exactly.
I like that.
And
so it's an event within an event within an event.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
And the outdoor area actually has a bar that opens up on the outside of the clubhouse. So there's no reason to have to go into the ballroom if you don't want any guests in the ballroom before you're introduced.
That's pretty. So this is the back of the ballroom here.
Yes.
And so you can essentially, even if once everybody moves into the ballroom, they can still utilize outside.
Yes, all evening.
And that's all included.
All included, yes.
I like that.
Yes.
You should like that too. That's a very good deal. Oh, that's pretty.
These are just some photographs taken on the golf course. This is the white bridge that I was talking about, one of them.
And you're how many acres?
Oh, geez. I'm embarrassed to say.
No, that's fine.
I don't know.
It's a fairly large property then, because there's water running through this, so that's incredible.
And it's actually, people sometimes ask me, so where is the golf course when they're in the ballroom? And I say it's a 360. It's entirely around us.
Wow. And you can notice, I've been on the property, and now that you say that, I'll have to look a little bit better because you can't tell. That's incredible. That's great. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And we're
Beautiful.
back to the beginning, yes.
How far in advance do clients book you?
Oh, jeez.
And now you just said 10 for next year, which is excellent.
Yes.
We book a year in advance. So, that's the way sort of how it sort of works. And that's really good that people are now saying, okay, I need to book my venue and going to you. So do you feel that it's becoming a better trend for you to book a year in advance?
It is. It's becoming more popular. Definitely we're filling up a lot quicker. I didn't have as many gray hairs coming this spring saying, oh
Put
no, I
those
still have
back.
these dates available. And I've actually got one wedding booked right now for 2017.
I was just going to ask that because my next question was, we book January, February, March, and April. We book the following season.
Yes.
And then the following year of 2016, January, February, March, April, we book 2017.
Yes.
And that's excellent that you already have something for 2017.
Yes.
That's great. And they should be really proud of you for that because I would if you were my
I
sales
know.
team. I'd be like, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's a fun fact about your location? Something that's really cool, that's different?
I was trying, let me see.
I mean, it's the fact that the golf course is completely around, I think is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I've been there several times and I need to look a little bit better.
I know.
But I go with venue mentality. I'm just like, oh, it's a
Sure.
venue. And that's all, now it's good to hear that.
Definitely.
But anything that's fun that you...
Well, I would say, so there's a trolley service in Old Orchard Beach, and it actually runs all summer right by the golf course.
Oh.
So sometimes there are couples whose guests, they book a hotel in Old Orchard Beach, and they'll be there for a week. They'll make it a week's vacation.
Oh, wow.
And they'll just be able to ride the trolley right to Dunegrass and golf for the day. So that's maybe a little bit of a fun fact. It costs $1 for the trolley.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Something for $1. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And what about accommodations? Do you recommend hotels in the nearby? I mean, obviously you're in Old Orchard, so you have all of that. And
Right.
Saco. So did you partner up with hotels to sort of kind of say, hey, we have a big, which is interesting because you had a wedding on Friday and I was at Portland Headlights and I ran into this humongous group of people and they were from Ohio. And I said, oh, what are you in for, blah, blah, blah. And they said a wedding, and they gave glowing reviews of you and of the venue and the food and everything. And so they were all from Ohio, so
Yeah.
you obviously must have to help them with accommodations too. I mean, if the bride asks.
Absolutely. What I've found that's very common is a lot of my brides have summered in Maine and Old Orchard Beach specifically, grown up coming to Old Orchard Beach, and their families will be from away. So I have a lot of clients coming from out of state, and Old Orchard Beach is the #1 place for accommodations. Otherwise, if they're coming for a longer stay and not just a weekend in and out, I'll recommend Portland because they can walk around and there are lots of great restaurants, and just the little city life is wonderful. So yeah, and I have partnered with, kind of straight from the question, but I have partnered with local hotels as well that will, offer an upgrade or a discount if you book a number of rooms.
Too, which
or
is nice.
transportation, exactly.
And do you feel that a lot of your clients that are coming in, Maine or destination? How do you, because Ohio, that's destination, so
Yeah.
you have a lot of people that are coming in.
Let's see. I would say 75% are from Maine. However, there is that 25% I have every year that are coming from Nevada, California. I've done Florida, Virginia, several from Massachusetts. Actually, I have 3 weddings from Massachusetts this summer, from Boston area. And so, yeah, there are always several that are from out of state every year.
And you guys customize your menus to fit every client's need?
Yes. Okay. So I have a basic menu that I offer to clients to use as a reference. Yep. Yes. And to build from there. So to tweak things, maybe there's something that's not on the menu that they absolutely love. I know I had one bride last year who loved Reuben sandwiches, and she was like, how can I incorporate a Reuben? I mean, I know this is a formal event. Yeah. And so the catering chef created mini Reuben sliders to serve as an hors d'oeuvre. So,
nice. So awesome. So again, you're having a wedding, go to Dunegrass, ask for Taryn, and she'll help you with everything that you need.